Hi guys, so finally I've decided to do this little session about how I have realized my picture, the Portal Keeper. So let's start to see how I have planned, uh, how I have think to realize the first plan of the picture with rocks, and then how I have merged the Milky Way situation above my shoulders. Okay, let's start to see how I have do these things. Okay, so first of all, we are speaking about this photography. Let's start talking about this picture. I am upon these rocks with Milky Way um, above my shoulders and a situation of sea and rocks near me. Obviously, it is not a single snap. First of all, because I have used my Fuji X-T1 and Laowa 9 mm for this snap, so yeah, it's a good combo, but it's not the best combo for this kind of results. So it is obvious which is double exposure, a composite picture, but this composite picture respect in full the environmental dynamics. So above me there was Milky Way as real, and also the position is real, and also color of the rocks is real, and also this part, yellow part, and this part here, which is with a little bit of moisture, is because of light pollution and fog. It was not so perfectly clear that night, so I've tried to um, realize one picture respecting the real situation. How? Let's start to analyze the files. Okay, before the sunset, which was this situation, as you can see, was truly red sunset, I started to do other pictures, just for pass the time. So, as you can see, the color of the rocks is pretty similar. Is pretty similar to my final picture. I like to snap before the sunset so I can have more or less a true color of the rocks without um, the color of the sunset, so it is less influenced of the light. um, as you can see, the color is more or less this one, okay, without retouch the picture. So this is my reference point. After this, I've simply wait the sunset, um, after the sunset I've started to snap my pictures for the first plan. As you can see, the color of the rocks is different. Okay, this is my first plan. I was upon the rocks, so it's a selfie, and I got one torchlight in my head, and yeah, this data um, are simply wrong because the Laowa 9mm is a manual lens, so I was probably f22 more or less, which is fine, you know, because and in the night it's impossible to have too much clear details. So I've also used the diffraction phenomena for have a much more homogenic result. Yeah, I go fully in diffraction phenomena. Just because I was searching this kind of spike effect in my light. So the first thing which I usually do is simply take the white balance in some gray point, for example my shorts, in this way, and let's see, is more real tone, you know, but is not enough. So I just started to drop down saturation to have a more some kind of real effect as night, because you don't have the true perception of the color without light. So I am just trying to transform, manipulate my snap with camera raw, imagining what is the true situation in the night without light. Okay, so more or less flat colors with true white balance, and obviously I have to drop down more or less all values, you know, maybe opening just the shadows and a bit of darks. So here we have um, a night situation, more or less. Okay, this is my first step. Yeah, then I just do classic things like enhance details in this way. For example, I can open blacks in this way, but deepest blacks part, so I can realize much more flat situation. And at the moment, that's it. For the first plan, that's it. Okay, so I have just to open the image. Obviously, the result now will be more or less as my final result, but this is what I usually do. As you can see, sky was perfectly clear here too. My sea, you have to pay attention of the sea, because my sea here is as long exposure, so as night situation is. You have to pay attention in all details, so reproduce some kind of night effect about colors, reproduce some kind of effect about long exposure for this kind of element as water, for example. And the most difficult part is now try to put the Milky Way in this situation, respecting all details and perfectly matching all. But first of all, we will see how to do post-production in about the Milky Way. So next video will be for this part of my photo.